Hey there, let's make lu rou today. Lu rou is a simple braised pork belly dish. You got your tender pork belly that melts in your mouth, the savouriness from the soya sauce, and the flavour from the spices. It's a dish that I cook when craving for something hearty, comforting, and easy to do. Lu rou originated from Taiwan and Fujian, China, but most Chinese households have their own version. So the version I'm doing today is super straightforward and easy to follow. Plus, at the end of this video, I'll be showing you chef's perspective on how to bring this dish to the next level so that you can impress your loved ones and even yourself. So stick around. Let's start by removing the gamey smell from the pork belly. I'll be using cooking alcohol like this cooking sake that I have, and feel free to use any flavorless alcohol. Then, you add in a few pieces of sliced ginger. Next, fill the pot with water. Make sure it is enough to cover the pork belly. Then bring the water to a rolling boil. Once the water boils, add in the pork belly and boil for 10 to 15 minutes to remove the smell. After that, remove the pork belly from the liquid and discard the liquid. In a fresh pot, add water, again, enough to cover the pork belly, soya sauce, five spice powder, and a few pieces of whole old garlic cloves with the skin on. And some dark soya sauce to give this dish a nice color. And 2 slices of ginger. Then bring to a boil for about an hour to cook the pork belly till it is really tender. When it is boiling, we will cut some other ingredients that goes well in this dish. First off, I've got the tau gua here. It is a very firm tofu, and when cooked in stew, it adds a nice texture to the dish. Next, we will add the tau pork, also known as tofu puffs. It is tofu that has been fried to get this sponge-like texture. And when I say sponge, it really soaks up the broth like a sponge. And because this is fried, we will be boiling it in water to remove the excess oil before cutting them up. Lastly, I boiled some hard-boiled eggs which I did not film here because I was too excited that I totally forgot to film them. So after around 30 minutes of boiling the pork, you can now add in the rest of the ingredients which you prepared into the stew so that they soak up all the goodness. And while all those ingredients are soaking up the goodness, remove the pork belly, slice them up so that each piece will be evenly coated with the sauce. And then I forgot about the rock sugar. So in this dish, I added around 4 to 6 pieces of rock sugar. And don't worry, this doesn't add any sweetness at all. It just helps to balance the entire dish. So it's been an hour and your pork belly should be tender. And it is ready to serve. Now take out every piece of ingredient and plate it nicely just like this. Your pork belly, your egg, your tofu puffs, and your tau gua. And ta-da! Your hearty dish is finally done after an hour. Isn't it simple? However, this video is not done yet. Do you remember at the start of the video where I mentioned that I can take this dish up to the next level so that you can learn as well? Well, here it is. We will be making a level up braised pork belly buns. First off, grab some buns, then steam them and put them one side. Now feel free to use a burger bun too. It is simple and just as good. Then take some sauce from the stew and put it into a smaller pot. In this small pot, add a generous amount of honey so that when you reduce, you get a very nice shine. This is to glaze the pork belly. Next up, grab the sliced pork belly, put it onto the plate, and then brush this glaze over nicely and take out this secret weapon, which I recently bought and is my new favorite toy, a blowtorch. Please be very careful when purchasing this blowtorch because you need to have the safety sign for it to be safe. Also, please be careful when handling it, it really burns. And make sure that there are no flammable items around you before you torch your glazed pork belly. And once everything is set in place, you can now torch your glazed pork belly till it gets a very nice char just like this. And of course, to make your buns look way more attractive, you need some greens in the bun. So, on the first layer, we will be adding a piece of lettuce. Then on top of the lettuce, you will add your torched glazed pork belly. Now brush it with more glaze so that it's so flavorful. Then you top it off with some sliced spring onions and voila! It is done. Now this dish is really tasty that my mom approves of. And if you do this for parties, people are going to love it and they will talk about it. And if this video got you excited to make lu rou, well, hit the like and subscribe button for more dishes to excite you. See you in the next one.